To create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Try to get it to the edge. Running to Green. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line. There's always been a lot of flash and sizzle to the Oklahoma offense, but it's built on being tough.
Yeah, and especially the great teams. The great teams that you think about in Oklahoma past, the ones that were in the national championship or in the playoff, those are teams that can run the football, be physical. It all started there.
They'll give it to him again. They finally get a hold of him, knocking him down behind the line of scrimmage. He had been running wild. They're dealing with a second and long. Scanning the field, it's Peppers. Zings it complete to the right. Gets it out across the 40. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 42 as this offense trying to put together a good drive.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
They'll come to the line at the 42, facing a third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Hit as he throws. Another interception. That's number 17 on the year. Nice pickup on the return, but more important, they got the takeaway, and now they're in business.
That's how you got to give the defense credit, though, because with these conditions, it's not easy to catch for the offensive players. Certainly not for the defense, but great eye-hand coordination securing that interception.
Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. They'll start this drive going to the air. Fires into traffic, intercepted. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
Well, how about that? I mean, they knew this defense was good defending the pass, but that had more to do with who's in the secondary, not necessarily who's up front. David, his best Pollock impersonation, picking that one up.
Yeah, baby, you don't get many opportunities to drop in coverage. You don't get many balls thrown your way, but when you do, you want to make sure you take advantage, showing off the athletic ability, showing the hands. The big defensive lineman comes up with the INT.
Just what they were looking for, and he's got him set up in business at the 35 with a first down.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy on them. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
Breaks into the open. Touchdown Sooners! And once he got away from the D, they had no shot at catching him.
And that touchdown run is just going to galvanize this entire football team. Really nice job being physical, and that sends a message. We're not just taking the lead. There's a lot of football left. We are going to keep trying to run this ball down your throat.
Now to make sure this kickoff team covers it well to not give back that last score. Takes it inside the 25. Chance for great field position. Almost a little bit more on that return. He's chased out of bounds at the 30 in good starting position for this offense. They'll crank up this drive from the 30-yard line. Looking to pass, it's Herrera. And it just squirted through his hands. He wanted to take off and got too anxious.
And in this weather, man, you start to see more of this. You try to throw the ball harder to penetrate it through the weather and get it to your target, but just catching a football that's a little bit slippery sometimes, you'll see some of those drops, and it's just part of the game.
Well, give the defense credit because they're forcing this quarterback to throw into very small windows under duress.
Defense dropping into soft coverage. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
Well, the defense finally has figured it out. That was critical for their confidence because they had been scored on earlier. They had given up a ton of yards. I think they understood the gravity of the situation.
Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. Got some room to run.
And I like the aggressiveness. I understand you're down right before the half. You want to go get some points, but you can't turn the football over here. Now you've set the other team up in a position to maybe get more points as the first half's winding down.
They'll get a chance to work on that hurry-up offense here in the final minute of the first half. Brought down after a good pickup, and they're in the red zone at the 20. The Sooners headed quickly to the line. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. They get him on the ground, but not before he drives it to the 10-yard line.
On 2nd down defensively, I'm always like, hey, let's get to 3rd down. Really good job by the offense. It's like, nah, we're going to stick this run right down your throat, get the 1st down on 2nd down. We don't need 3rd downs.
They've come out with answers on this possession, and now another 1st down. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion.
And that is the play this defense had to have. Did you look in the secondary right there? I mean, he was open, guys. Like, that would have been a touchdown, and this defense got to the quarterback, hit him as he's throwing the football, forced the errant pass, and dodged a bullet.
It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Looking downfield, it's Peppers. Got it! And he hauled it in, but couldn't quite get it to the end zone. Defense forces him out of bounds at the 3.
And here comes money down for this offense. 3rd down execution is a premium. You work on it all week ad nauseum for these moments when you can execute when the field starts to shrink.
Oklahoma! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
And how big is that for this offense? Put a nice drive together, get the touchdown, add to this lead already. Everything right now, Palmer, going their way.
Yeah, that was as good a 2-minute type situation as you could have offensively. David, they've got so many weapons on this offense. They practice these situations all the time, and they put it to work here at the end of the first half.
Here's the return from inside the 25. Nice return there, and he'll be dragged down at the 34. Inside 30 seconds to play in the half. We'll see how aggressive they are on this drive. Going right to work up top. Looking to the big tight end. Got his man downfield. He's into plus territory, knocked out of bounds after the nice game. Mark it at the 47. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Wants to throw on 1st down. And he is finding wide-open defenders all over the field. His 3rd interception of the day. And they make the play to stop the scoring opportunity just before the end of the half. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. Looking downfield, it's Peppers. Flips it out on the screen. And he never had a chance. As soon as he caught it, the defense was right there. Quick timeout call by the offense after the play. Lining up in the Wildcat. Let's see what they've got. Back has it. Out of the crowd, and now he's got He's taken down after a short gain, and that'll do it for us here in the first half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update. The Longhorns will kick it off to start the second half. Out of the end zone. Knocked down right at the 25, and I guess he breaks even, bringing it out of the end zone. Guys, we'll get another look at this Oklahoma offense. If it's working, why change it? And that running game was working in the first half. I imagine we'll see a lot more of it here in the third quarter.
And you just know the offensive line was telling their coordinator, put this on us. Let us continue to go out there, push these guys around. We can put this game on our back and end this thing by running the ball.
And this is a manhood question for this defense. Like, as a defensive lineman, and you're pounding the rock, like, I got to physically rise to this challenge. This defense has to play more inspired and more physical in the second half.
What a hit by the defender. That's a good throw, and that was going to be caught, but how about the defender dislodging the football from its intended target? Nice job.
Making side adjustments here. On third and long, he's going to have to throw for it.
That is a good omen for this defense. They were getting lit up in the first half. They knew something had to change. So to set the tone like this early on their opening drive of the third quarter and get a stop on third, that should really help their confidence.
And they'll bring him down to get the offense started on the next drive. Defense showing blitz here. One man in the backfield, and he gets it. And he was able to run through one tackle, but still only a modest gain.
Well, not a great run there, but I think what the coaching staff is trying to do is they're trying to help out their quarterback. He's thrown interceptions on each of his last two drives, and the best way to try to settle him down is to get the running game established. But I think the defense is aware of that right now, loading the box. Everybody up front is ready for the run.
And for a defense, it's not always about sacks, but sometimes it's about getting that quarterback off his spot where he feels very comfortable, and they get him flushed outside of the pocket. And good perimeter defense. He rolls to the right. Everybody's still covering their guys, moving across the field with the QB, nowhere to go with the football.
And this offense is desperate to keep this drive alive, trailing by multiple possessions, and it's getting late. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks. A famous writer once said, most men lead lives of quiet desperation. Here is a desperate move, going for it on fourth down, trailing by double figures. Takes a shot as he throws, and it never had a chance. Incomplete.
Nice job by the defense. Great pass defense, getting in the lanes, doing a really good job understanding they were going to throw the football on this fourth down. They played it well. Incomplete pass. Defense turns to offense.
Well, the defense was trailing going in at halftime, and I think they made some adjustments against the run. They want to slow this guy down. That's a really nice start to the second half if you're on defense.
Looking to throw, it's Peppers. Fires to the big fella. Terrific job getting to him. There was nowhere to go.
That's a great example of the defense there tackling the catch. As soon as the big fella caught the ball, down he went, not picking up the first.
Now facing a third and long from the 50-yard line. He powers his way ahead, gets three, but they're still looking at fourth and two. And the Sooners want to pick up the tempo. On fourth down, they'll try to throw it. Converts on fourth down, and he's still going. Finds a crease at the 20. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Sooner! No midseason concentration laps here in Week 7 as they push out that lead. Now they have extended this lead, guys, starting to put the hammer, but sometimes a rivalry game can give you a little of extra fight back.
And there can be no panic at this point now. You've worked too hard this offseason, David. They've had this game circled for so long. You've got to play your best football right now and fight back.
And you just need something good to happen on this next possession. You've got to get the crowd back into this football game. big rivalry. Get some emotion, get some momentum on your side.
Looking for an alley from inside his own 20. Maybe if he could have eluded just one or two more guys, it would have been a big return, but they'll mark it at the 30. Here comes the Texas offense. They're down by 21 points, but you get a touchdown here, and you do at least apply a little game pressure, Jesse.
It's true. I think for them to get back in this one at this point now, they need the quarterback to play his best football. He's going to have to be good really pre-snap, David, making sure they're in the right looks, and he's got to be really good with his decision-making.
He's got to be dialed in because defensively you're giving up points. So it's not like you have the luxury of your defense playing great. The offense is going to have to score and score pretty dang quickly.
Dropping back, it's Herrera. That's caught. It's Irwin. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking downfield on first down. Can't quite make the connection there. Might have led him a little too much.
And on that incompletion, I think the quarterback was being just a bit too careful, trying to throw that ball too far outside, obviously aware that the defenders are coming from the inside. You don't want to put it behind the intended target and risk the pick six, but he needs to be more accurate.
He stopped just short of midfield. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 48.
And they bring the blitz. I mean, you can tell. They want to make him feel uncomfortable as quick as possible, and you can see him. He takes off with the football, and they just trying to get to him, try to get him on the ground, but this defense chooses to blitz right now in this football game.
Really nice job to convert that third down, and they've got it at the 33.
Well, I think on that play you saw why this guy's such a big weapon in this offense. At receiver, he does such a nice job with his routes. He's patient, and he's consistent, and he's got good hands. You don't see him put a lot of balls on the ground. Nice job there picking up the first down.
The offense has a little bit of success on the ground, and they're up. Look at them. They're ready to go again, back on the line of scrimmage, ready to run another play.
He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short. Wants to throw on third. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And we need more of this from this defense, man. They have let this guy have too much time to throw the football. They haven't gotten that jersey dirty yet, haven't sacked him. But this is just as good as a sack. Getting to him, hitting him, letting him feel the physicality of this game, and not letting him feel comfortable.
D showing blitz. They might be bluffing. On fourth down, he'll try to toss it. Snagged in the middle. It's Irwin. How about that defense rising up and stopping him short on fourth down? So they come to the line, and the Wildcat going to give him a different look. Direct snap. They'll mark him out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. We thought we'd see a little Wildcat formation in this spot, and here it is. Snap to the back. This time he doesn't get loose, and finally the defense gets him bottled up behind the line.
Yeah, and listen, the offense has had their way, and they've had so much success and so much production. But listen, at least the defense got a rep. You know, maybe this gets you a spark. Maybe this gets you some energy. Maybe we'll see a little bit more life from this defense.
Yeah, they may not win the game, but I think this defensive coaching staff at this point, based on how this game has gone, they're just trying to find things to build off of. Maybe that's something they can point to as they get ready for their next opponent of things they did right and things that they got to do more consistently moving forward.
He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47.
To be honest, I think the quarterback was a little bit surprised himself at the play call that came in that time. You've got a 3-possession lead here in the third quarter of this game. You're probably expecting some short throws, some runs. And this play caller is still asking for shot plays. And listen, you're the quarterback. You're happy to oblige when you've got the playmakers you have offensively. Just keep chucking it.
So now it's second and long. Looking for a man. It's Peppers. got his man on the right. At the 20, he's got space. Slippery slide, find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma! The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. If this dude were a kitchen knife, he would be slicing tomatoes so thin your in-laws would never come back to your house.
Well, that'd be a good thing. I don't know if I want my in-laws to come back anyways, but he's been on fire. He's been absolutely torching this defense. They've had absolutely no answers for him.
He'll bring it back from inside the 15. Needed just a little more help to turn that into a big return. They'll mark him down at the 29. They'll get this drive started from the 29.